Did Grace Kelly's fairy tale love story have a darker side? You won't believe what Hollywood tried to hide about her relationships. Grace Kelly, the epitome of elegance and grace, is forever remembered as the actress who captured hearts in Rear Window and high society. But her love life was anything but a fairy tale. Behind the glamorous facade and royal marriage, there were shocking secrets that Hollywood wanted to keep buried. From passionate affairs to unexpected heartbreak, her relationships were filled with drama that many tried to erase. In this video, we uncover the untold story of Grace Kelly's love life and the shocking truths that Hollywood worked hard to keep from the public eye. The early years, an actress with a past. Grace Kelly's love life wasn't always the fairy tale many believed it to be. Born in 1929 in Philadelphia, she grew up in an affluent family, but despite her privileged background, her early relationships were far from conventional. Before she became a Hollywood star, Grace had a complicated love life, shaped by a variety of suitors who were often less than ideal for someone destined to marry royalty. Her first significant romance was with actor and playboy Gene Kelly. Despite their undeniable chemistry on set in Singin' in the Rain, it was a brief fling that quickly faded. But the intensity of the affair was enough to stir the Hollywood rumor mill, which portrayed Kelly as a love interest she would never forget. Grace Kelly's romantic interests were often overshadowed by her rise to fame. She was known for her beauty, poise, and charm, and soon enough men from all walks of life were vying for her attention. What most people didn't realize, however, was how much the young actress struggled with her feelings about love. Did she crave the spotlight, or was there a deeper yearning for something genuine? Only Grace Kelly knew the answer, but she never truly shared it with the public. The affair with Ray Milland. Before Grace Kelly became the epitome of royalty in Monaco, she had a romantic past that wasn't as pristine as her public image. One of the most shocking and secretive chapters in Grace Kelly's love life was her rumored affair with actor Ray Milland. Milland, a charming and accomplished actor best known for his roles in films like The Lost Weekend, 1945, and Dial M for Murder, 1954, had a reputation for being a notorious womanizer. But despite his on-screen persona as a suave leading man, it was his off-screen relationships that stirred the most controversy. Ray Milland was known for his tumultuous personal life. He was married to actress Malfrin L. de Monchaux, but that didn't stop him from being involved in several high-profile affairs during his career. Grace Kelly, young, ambitious, and climbing the Hollywood ladder, found herself drawn to Milland's sophistication, maturity, and worldliness. At the time, Kelly had already made a name for herself in Hollywood, and her relationship with Milland came at a time when she was trying to navigate the fine line between her blossoming career and her private life. The affair between Grace and Milland was largely kept under wraps during the height of Kelly's career. Hollywood studios and publicists worked tirelessly to keep it quiet. Grace's public image as the epitome of elegance and poise didn't align with the controversial nature of a romance with a married man who was well known for his drinking and infidelity. Despite their chemistry and passion, Grace Kelly's affair with Milland was never confirmed, leaving behind a trail of speculation and unanswered questions. Their romance was brief, but it seemed to leave a lasting impression on Grace. Milland was one of the first men who treated her as an equal, and she was likely drawn to the sense of freedom he represented, a stark contrast to the pressures of Hollywood and her family's expectations. However, Milland's issues with alcohol and the complexities of his relationships made it an affair with an inevitable expiration date. After their split, Grace moved on quickly, but the whispers about their brief fling would persist long after the affair had ended. This affair is often left out of public discussions about Grace Kelly's life, likely because it didn't fit with the image she was expected to portray. Her marriage to Prince Rainier III was sold to the public as a fairy tale, a perfect conclusion to her Hollywood career. Yet the brief romance with Ray Milland added a layer of complexity to Grace's story, one that Hollywood didn't want to acknowledge. Prince Rainier III, the royal romance. When Grace Kelly met Prince Rainier III of Monaco, their romance captured the world's imagination, quickly becoming one of the most famous love stories in modern history. In 1955, while attending the Cannes Film Festival, Grace caught the eye of Rainier, who was seeking a bride to help bolster Monaco's international status. The two were introduced by a photographer, and their connection was instant. What followed was a whirlwind romance that led to a highly publicized engagement and wedding in 1956. To the public, it seemed like a fairy tale, a Hollywood princess marrying a real-life one. But beneath the glamour of the royal wedding was a different story. Rainier had been under immense pressure to marry, not just for love, but to produce heirs to ensure the continuation of Monaco's royal lineage. Grace, on the other hand, was at the peak of her career. She had to make a choice: continue acting or give it all up for a life of royal duties. The pressure from Hollywood was immense, but Grace made the bold decision to leave her career behind, stepping into the role of Princess of Monaco. Despite the outward appearance of a perfect union, Grace's relationship with Rainier was not without complications. Rainier, with his royal duties and long absences, was often distant, and Grace struggled with the confines of her new life. Though they had 3 children together, their marriage was never without its struggles, and many believed that Grace's heart was never entirely at peace. Still, she embraced her role as a mother and wife, balancing her royal responsibilities with the pressure of a public life that was at times lonely and isolating. The secretive affair with Oleg Cassini. While Grace Kelly's marriage to Prince Rainier dominated her public life, there was another love affair that simmered in the shadows: her rumored relationship with fashion designer Oleg Cassini. Cassini, who was widely known for his stunning designs and for creating Grace's iconic wedding gown, was a fixture in her life, both personally and professionally. Their close working relationship often led to rumors of a romantic affair that would complicate Grace's marriage to Prince Rainier. Cassini was a prominent designer, known for dressing some of the most powerful and famous women in the world, including Jacqueline Kennedy. His connections in both Hollywood and Europe made him an influential figure in the world Grace navigated. As someone who worked closely with Grace on numerous occasions, Cassini became more than just a designer to her. He was a confidant, someone who understood the pressures and demands of being a woman in the spotlight. Cassini was known for his suave demeanor and charm, and it's easy to imagine how Grace, who was often trapped in the rigid world of royal life, might have found solace in his company. The affair between Grace and Cassini was never publicly acknowledged, and both parties consistently denied it. However, rumors swirled that their relationship went beyond mere professional collaboration. Grace and Cassini were said to have shared an intense connection, both professionally and personally. Cassini was often seen as someone who could offer Grace a sense of freedom that her royal life could not provide. Their bond, whether romantic or not, was something that Hollywood and the royal family didn't want to acknowledge, as it would have damaged the carefully constructed image of Grace as a dutiful wife and mother. What made this affair particularly secretive was the timing. Grace Kelly had just married Prince Rainier, and her position as the Princess of Monaco was firmly established. To engage in an affair with Cassini would have been not only scandalous, but also a direct challenge to the image of the perfect royal marriage. As a result, the affair, if it existed, was buried beneath layers of secrecy and forgotten by history, at least in the eyes of the public. This affair highlights a central theme in Grace Kelly's love life: the tension between her public persona and the reality of her emotions. Despite the outward perfection of her life as a princess, Grace was a woman who sought fulfillment, love, and passion outside the confines of her royal duties. Cassini's allure may have been more than just physical. He represented a different life, one that Grace could have had if she had chosen differently. The rumored affair with Oleg Cassini remains one of the many hidden chapters of Grace Kelly's life, one of the many secrets that Hollywood and the royal family worked to suppress. Whether it was a fleeting romance or a deep, unspoken bond, it serves as a reminder that behind the fairy tale exterior of Grace Kelly's life, some complexities and struggles have never been fully revealed. These relationships, each complex in its own right, paint a different picture of Grace Kelly's love life, one that was not as perfect as it seemed. Hollywood and the royal family may have worked tirelessly to erase these stories from the public consciousness, but they remain a part of her legacy, a reminder that even the most beautiful and poised stars have their own stories of love, heartbreak, and desire. The dark secrets of Grace's love life. Grace Kelly's love life was filled with contradictions and complexities that Hollywood simply didn't want the public to know about. While her marriage to Prince Rainier became a fairy tale story, the reality was that it was far from perfect. In the glamorous world of Hollywood, the truth was often more shocking than the narrative presented to the public. One of the darker elements of Grace's romantic life was her rumored affair with actor William Holden. Holden, a talented and charming actor, had a reputation for being troubled by his demons, including struggles with alcoholism. But despite their very different personalities, Grace and Holden were said to have shared a deep connection. Hollywood, however, wasn't keen on letting this affair be publicized. They feared it would tarnish Grace Kelly's image as the pristine, sophisticated actress, especially as she was now married to the prince. So, any mention of her involvement with Holden was quickly hushed up. What's truly shocking is that Hollywood wasn't the only one trying to keep Grace's love life under wraps. Her own family played a role in controlling the narrative. Despite her public persona as a dutiful wife and mother, those close to her were aware of the turbulence and struggles that existed behind closed doors. Yet they too contributed to the carefully crafted image of Grace as the perfect princess. The tragic end of Grace Kelly's love story. Tragically, Grace Kelly's life ended far too soon, cutting short the story of her romance with Prince Rainier. In 1982, at just 52 years old, Grace died in a car accident, leaving the world to wonder about the untold stories and secrets that she took with her. Her tragic death only added to the mystery surrounding her life, and people began to reflect on the love affairs and struggles she had endured in silence. Did Grace Kelly truly find happiness in her royal life? Or was she forever haunted by the unfulfilled dreams of her past? Did she ever truly escape the pull of Hollywood? Or did she return to its glamour in secret, far from the prying eyes of her royal family? Grace Kelly's legacy, a love life hidden in plain sight. Though the shocking details of Grace Kelly's love life were often hidden or erased by Hollywood, they are an indelible part of her story. She was a woman who defied the expectations placed upon her, seeking love, passion, and fulfillment in a world that only wanted to preserve her image as a perfect princess. But beneath the surface, her relationships were as complex and layered as her unforgettable career. Hollywood may have tried to erase the more scandalous aspects of Grace Kelly's love life, but the truth always has a way of coming to light. Her story is one of mystery, intrigue, and unspoken truths, a tale of a woman who, even in the glare of the spotlight, remained forever enigmatic. So, what really happened behind the scenes of Grace Kelly's love life? Did Hollywood succeed in burying the truth, or have these secrets finally come to light? If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden stories of old Hollywood's most iconic stars, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more shocking revelations. You won't want to miss what's coming next.